Hi everyone and welcome to the show. My name is Rebecca Collin and this is Food for Thought, where we serve you a tantalising blend of memories, flavours and heartwarming connections. From the nostalgic comfort of a parent's home cooking to those fancy meals with someone special or a particularly good late night kebab. Every meal is a unique chapter in our lives. Join me in today's episode where we try to get down to the meat of our discussion, unless you're a vegetarian, in which case we'll do what we can in the shallotted time. Today I will be joined by a talented musician, Josh Black, who will be chatting to me about his life as a musician, his inspirations, and the ups and downs of his creative pursuits. And we'll be getting to an exclusive look at his brand new single, Under a Sunless Sky. We'll also enjoy a look at the good feelings and friendships of a casual potluck and put a special spotlight on a local food business. But before any of that, please welcome my guest, Josh Black. Hi Josh, how are ya?
Hello.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks
How
for
have you
having me.
been?
Great. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm well. I'm here. I'm happy to be here. I hope you are too. So you're not just a musician, you're a creative person. You have a lot of different hats. What would you say is the most inspiring thing that you've found creatively in the last year as we come to the end?
I think one of the things that has been extremely inspiring for myself is I went to see a play by the Fremantle Theatre Company not too long ago. So that was a show of Lucy Prebble's The Effect. Oh. It was essentially asking the question of love and whether that could just be summarised as kind of chemicals in the brain or if there's a tangible connection. And I thought it was just extremely fascinating. And as a writer, I thought that was extremely inspirational. That really spoke to me, that one.
Yeah, amazing. So you talk about writing now. Is that what you would say is your main job at the moment in the arts?
So I'm a filmmaker. I would class myself as. I do some screenwriting. I have directed a couple of projects here and there. And I do a bit of music, as obviously we're here to discuss as well.
Yeah.
A lot of hats, as you said.
Yeah, that's it. I'm always right. What can I say? So you're here to perform a song for us today.
I am.
Can you tell us anything about your process writing that song?
Yeah, absolutely. So that song, Under a Sunless Sky, as you mentioned before, a funny story about that one. When I got asked to come in tonight and to perform this one, let's just say there was maybe a verse of that song that was written. And,
oh no! What have you done?
And I go, oh yeah, I can finish that in time. And then it was an absolute mad rush. We got there.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm really excited to hear the final product,
Terrific.
And I'm sure our audience is as well. So in terms of the music that you write, what we're about to hear from you, what would you say is your main influence? What's someone that you kind of hear and feel like that's the kind of genre you're emulating?
So there's definitely a couple of artists. So I mean, I do take inspiration from your kind of alternative. So like your Lewis Capaldi, your James Bay. It's very very acoustic is what I like to keep it as. I don't see myself as someone who's got this kind of digital kind of backing track with all the synths and everything. It's just kind of me, my guitar, my voice. And obviously being a writer as well, I always try and make sure that there's some sort of meaning in my music. And
yeah, lovely. I really love that. It's nice when you get to listen to a song and can tell that the person singing it really has a connection to those lyrics. It's really beautiful when that happens.
The difference between musician and artist is how I see it.
Yeah, right. That's so interesting. I've never thought about that, but yeah, that's definitely something to think on. More food for thought.
More food for thought.
So when you make music, what's your process like typically? You're not always waiting for a talk show to give you a deadline.
No. I mean, I've been on Jay Leno. No, so I generally, it will just kind of come as an idea of, that's kind of a cool lyric, and it can come from my writing in scripting or any short stories or anything like this. Generally, it's just a concept. Like this song, for example, it started off as a poem. It was something that I had written for a short film that I was writing. and it was titled the same. It was Sunless Sky, but it was a very, very different story. It was a much kind of sadder, darker story, but it was those lyrics and that kind of vivid kind of how you can picture sunless sky and just kind of wasting time under a sunless sky and yeah, no, I just really liked those words, and kind of that's what helped me write it. I don't think I had it to music when I did write out most of the song first. I wrote it out and then kind of, I'm like, all right, cool, look at the tempo, right? And then once I actually get the guitar out and we start to fine tune it, that's when we can go like, oh no, I need to cut a word, I need to cut a syllable, I need to restructure a little bit. But yeah, no, I think there's no specific way. I know a lot of songwriters kind of can start out with music sometimes or start out with lyrics. I think for myself, it's either either. Like I don't have a set structure. It's sometimes I'll just be playing guitar and I'll be like, oh, that sounds cool. I can fit some lyrics to that, and
nice.
that's the way that it goes. But yeah.
Fair enough. You say that the lyrics for Under a Sunless Sky started out as a poem as part of a short film.
Yes.
Do you find often that you're having a lot of crossover between your different pursuits in different areas of the arts?
I think these are all different mediums to convey. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still telling stories that are kind of about myself, even if I'm writing a short film that talks about a different character. There's always elements of myself in that character or in that character's story, and it's the same with my music, and it's always speaking from the heart and trying to capture elements and whether that be guilt or whether that be just general things about the human condition. Like this Under the Sunless Sky is kind of about the guilt of when you should be working, but you kind of you need to also take time off and feeling guilty during that time off. You're like, no, I should be doing stuff, but you got to also respect
that balance
you
of finding things that feel productive as well as knowing how important rest is.
That's it.
I'm very familiar with that struggle, don't you worry.
Yep. Welcome to creative industries.
Creative industries, that's it. That's kind of the epitome of it, isn't it? Now, you obviously have a lot of hats that you wear, and tonight you'll be performing a song live for us. Can you tell us about your first experience performing live?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, I used to sing a little bit when I was a kid. I've never done vocal lessons or anything like that. So I did piano lessons. I think I performed in front of my piano teacher a few times here and there. And then later in school, I kind of got into acting, and I was a drama kid there. And we did we did a musical there, just a school production. We did Nightmare Before Christmas, of course, written by Tim Burton. And I played Jack Skellington, and it was this big thing, and we had a great time. Oh, of course, rattle on some of them bones. It was great, and we and so we did that, and after coming out of school, I kind of closed off a lot, and it was the same with film. It was the same with music, and I just put all of those kind of creative pursuits to the side, and so I tried out a bunch of different careers until I was working with this food truck, and we went up to the Pilbara, so we travelled in Karratha and Port Hedland and everything, and
beautiful.
And we went up there, and he was one of the co-organisers for the Beef and Beer Festival up in Smoke, was the food truck, and I had sung in front of my boss once, and so he talked me up to every single one of the organisers.
Oh, no.
So it turns out, look, tomorrow night there's an open mic. We're doing that, right? And so we get out there
pressure.
I know, no pressure at all. We get out there and we have pretty much all of the organisers just in one table. We've got the band that played there. We've got like a bunch of people that have just been helping out, or just people that have been visiting the Beef and Beer Festival, and everything. It is packed, and I'm like, all right, I can do this.
Great.
And so we jumped on, and I did a rendition of "Take Me to Church" by Hosier, and I think I did "Fast Car." And
can't go wrong.
Of course, you got to start with the classics. They're classics for a reason.
Absolutely.
No, it was great. We did that, and that went really well. And I got off stage, and I had mentioned that was kind of my first time singing, kind of in my style, and performing like that. I think it was different when you're doing a musical, when you kind of playing a character, whereas when you're performing, you are yourself.
Yeah,
I think that was definitely a new experience, and I kind of fell in love with it. Like, Yeah,
Oh,
it's fantastic.
That's so lovely. And I'm so glad you did, because now we get to spend some time with you and listen to your beautiful music. And I'm very keen to do that soon. Now, when you moved from food trucking into music and the rest of the arts, what was the thing that really like pushed you to kind of do that? What was it, just being in front of this audience and realizing how much you loved it, or was there anything else that really pushed you to make a change?
Look, I think there was an internal kind of not struggle, but there was something that was kind of eating at me for a while. And as I mentioned, so I did some stuff back in school, and I also did a Cert 2 of film back in school. I had Cert 2 in creative industries, and we, coming out of school, I immediately went, oh no, it's not realistic. I'm never going to get a job in that, and so I just didn't. And yeah, as I mentioned, I tried multiple jobs. I tried chefing, I tried sales. I was a sales consultant at Telstra. That sucked the life out of me.
Oh no!
But I got it back. But I had to pay, a 24-month repayment for it. So they're still getting me. So I did that, and it was honestly just a small thing. And I was watching this documentary by Louis Theroux, who's my favorite documentarian, and it was about the right to die states in America and kind of euthanasia and
yeah, I can imagine seeing those people would really instill something in
super
you that
serious, super kind of touching, and the closing sequence of that, we get this monologue that's saying, oh, he lived every life to his fullest, and that was kind of it just snapped something in my brain.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm so excited that you are trying to live every day to the fullest now.
Of course.
And we get to reap the benefits of that. Thanks so much for talking
No
with
worries
me, Josh.
at all.
And we'll definitely hear more from you soon. Well, I'll be back with Josh in just a little bit as we look at his first ever live performance of Under a Sunless Sky. Until then, let's take a look at how our friends in the studio got on with their fun little potluck. And then we'll have a look at a local business that's sure to get the tummies rumbling. See you soon.
Hello and welcome to Food for Thought Episode 1 Potluck. I'm here with the rest of the crew. We were going to have the barbecue, but it's completely shagged, so we're going to just fry it on some pans. And then we'll get started. I hope I don't set the kitchen on fire, because cooking is not my forte.
Hi, I'm Callum, and I brought this $8 steak because I really like steak, and it's the first thing I ever learned to cook, so it means a lot to me. Grab that big hunk of meat.
Are you going to need a bigger pan than this, by the way?
Hi, I'm Reese. I'm bringing my pizza to the potluck. The reason I'm bringing it is because pizza is my favorite food, obviously. It's very personal to me and my family. Every Friday night we make our own pizzas and we watch a movie. So yeah, this is a very sentimental dish to me.
Oh, look at us.
Oh, that's like a Jamie Oliver amount of water.
Hello, my name is Jack Chambers, and today I have brought to this beautiful potluck 6 hot dog rolls. Every food gathering needs rolls, it needs bread, it carries the barbecue.
Fun food fact. Did you know that, like most things in the United Kingdom, the national dish is stolen from a different country?
That's what they call me the cutting machine.
I brought some orange juice and lemonade to the potluck because this is what my mum used to make for me and my sister whenever we would get sick when we were little. So you just kind of liberally add orange juice. I think it works on the same science as like a Shrek Band-Aid or like a Mum's Kiss, where it just like cures everything. I know you're only being nice to me because you want my hot dog. Yeah?
Welcome back. Seeing all of those delicious meals on display sure has made me hungry. But don't worry, I haven't eaten Josh yet. Now, we have more for you in the show. Don't you worry. He'll be back with us shortly after we have a watch of the show's main event, the first ever live performance of his single Under a Sunless Sky. Take it away, Josh.
It's 10:05 and I've had a couple drinks too many. Me and the bottle, we're both feeling so fucking empty. I've been wasting my night staring at this sunless sky. I'm feeling drained just from the stress of my days. Working late from early, trying to clean my feeling. Played, I've been wasting time under this sunless sky. Me by myself on a guilty night. I know I'm on track, things will be just fine. I need to give myself some time to breathe. Lately when I drink, things are feeling low. I know what to do, so I should get on home. I need to give myself some time to breathe, 'cause I've been losing time under the sunless sky. They told me growing up, if I don't run, I'll come last place. But I've been working harder every day, I still lose pace. Me by myself on a guilty night. I know I'm on track, things will be just fine. I need to give myself some time to breathe. Lately when I drink, things are feeling low. I know there's work to do, so I should get on home. I need to give myself some time to breathe, 'cause I've been losing time. Under the sunless sky. Me by myself on a guilty night. I know I'm on track, things will be just fine. I need to give myself some time to breathe. Lately when I drink, things are feeling low. I know there's work to do, so I should get on home. I need to give myself some time to think, 'cause I've been losing time under the sunless sky.
An absolutely stellar performance from Josh Black. How are you feeling?
I'm great. Sorry, I always button up my shirt when I'm performing. It just keeps the distractions away, you know.
Yeah, right. I absolutely know what you mean, and I will probe no further. So, of course, we have to bug you with some more questions. So, you've told us about the writing process and how rushed it was for that particular song. Is there any lyric in there that you think was what really kind of made it for you? Is there anything in there that you think kind of encapsulates the whole song, or is it just titular under a sunless sky?
I think look, most of it comes into the chorus, but there are a couple of different elements in there that were recycled. Obviously, the poem and where I mentioned when I actually went up north, there was a song that I wrote while I was in Port Hedland that I actually utilised the lyrics for in the first verse, which I felt like really captured the kind of essence to it as well. And it was you know, it's 10:05. I've had a couple drinks too many. Me and the bottle were both feeling so fucking empty. And you know, it's just it kind of shifted from the emotional drainage, which was what it was in the original song, to kind of the physical and the mental drainage in this song. But I think that really, really well encapsulated that message, which is why I kind of, you know, I had that Sunless Sky. I was like, these lyrics work better for this song.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really special thing as well, when you're able to take something older and give it new meaning and spin it differently. Do you do that very often with your work?
I wouldn't necessarily say often. I mean, there's always going to be elements of that. I think there's you always need to be able to move forward, and sometimes moving forward and progressing means kind of taking something that's a little bit older and putting new life into it. So, you know, whether that be in film or music, I think there's always going to be elements where I'm like, oh, you know what, I could have done that better, so I'm going to. And
yeah,
you know,
totally.
I think that's definitely the way that you should look at it as a creative, I believe. I think, you know, classics are classics, but growth is also growth.
Well, I can't argue with that statement, definitely. So, what made you want to tell that kind of story? What was something that made you feel like that was something that deserved a whole song to really kind of delve into what that feeling is?
So something that I'm a Try One film student here at SAE, and I find I am spending, you know, at least 3 days a week I'm on campus for more than 10 hours. Like I am involved in pretty much every club here that I can be. I do pretty much everything extracurricular that I can, and all around I am incredibly strapped for time. I'm always doing things. I love being active. It's great, but it's definitely draining, and it's definitely costing. But there's still that kind of that part of your brain when you do need to relax. You relax, but then you know you're like, I could be doing something, and I could be doing something productive. What's this helping with? But it's needing to move away from that, and kind of you're almost self-stigmatizing your own enjoyment versus progression. Almost, not that I don't enjoy what I do. I absolutely do love what I do, but it's like, you know, there's different sides to it, and it's about that balance. And I think that's something that a lot of people need to take on board.
And it's like you said, you try and make from your own experiences and your own story. And I think it is important that you do take time away from work and you experience life, so that you can then take those experiences and keep doing that work that you love. Yeah, I totally see that. And it's a beautiful song. It was such a raw performance. I feel very lucky to have been able to listen to it.
Thank you.
Are you ever planning on releasing that, or is it just a kind of thing that you like to do live?
Look, if there's anyone that would be wanting to work with me in recording that, I'm absolutely down to do that. It's in all honesty, it's not on my list of priorities right now to kind of go off and use my own resources to kind of put towards doing that myself. But as I said, you know, if someone wants to assist in doing that, I am absolutely happy to record that and put it out there for everyone.